Hi, welcome to the Repeat Offenders Fishing Show. My name's Jens-Erik. It's summertime and we're after some really weeded up summer carp. Let me show you what we're doing, we're trying to do. The lake here is a pretty nice fishing lake. It's got a good head of 30s, at least 10 40s that we know of, and this year there's also been the first 50 to grace the bank. Except for some gravel bars that you can see during the summertime, most of the lake is weeded up with 6 to 8 feet of weed pretty much all through. It's really tough when you have a fish on, but it's pretty much worth it. What we've been trying to do is find the gravel bars. There's a couple of them that you can cast to from the bank. You can actually see them when the sun's right, when the water's calm. And I've marked the first one with a long piece of reed that I took from the margin and put right in the middle so I can cast to it even during the nighttime. The others are too far out and you cannot use a boat here, and you cannot cast that far, so the only way to really pinpointly drop a lead with pinpoint accuracy is to snorkel out there, and we've been doing that. And well, the rods are fishing. Got 2 rods in, and it's supposed to rain come night, and I hope that the barometric pressure is going to go down a little bit, which usually triggers the fish to feed. And well, let's see if it works. Marking your spot with a piece of reed like that is pretty easy and has lots and lots of things going in its favor. You know, you just pull one of these out carefully. As you can see, they're nice and straight. They stand up really well, especially when, I don't know, you know, this part is underwater and keeps kind of helps it to lift. And you just push it in there if it's really hot. You know, I sometimes take a peg with me, kind of pre-drill a hole, put it in there, and it marks my spot real well. Obviously it's 100% camouflaged. It feels natural because it is natural, and unlike, you know, a marker where you have the monofilament standing straight up through the water column, it will not spook the fish. And if the fish happens to pick up your bait here and move between you and your marker, usually you get, you know, a big fat tangle and you might lose the fish. With this one it either pops out, fat chance, tough deal, you have to get a new one, or when they're flexible like that and you really bury them deep, just like a stick marker, it'll just let the line move along. You can still play the fish and it just pops back up. So whenever this is possible, whenever I snorkel out there, I can really put it in there with my hands. I would prefer this over any other method to mark my spot, and none of the other fishermen will know what you're up to because it looks so natural, like it belongs there. And actually when you scan across the water surface and you don't know where it is, I don't know, 50-60 meters out, you won't even notice it's there. The water's really calm now. I'll try to show it to you. To the right you can see the reed that I'm using as a marker. And there's the first waterfowl, happily diving for my baits. With the weather being this calm, I think you can actually make out the gravel bar that I'm fishing on. It's the lighter water within the dark shades of the trees. Pretty much marked by the little waterfowl diving for my baits. Well, but there's a storm front moving in. Usually when it gets really bad, these birds do seek shelter in the summer along the shoreline, and I'm pretty positive that we're gonna get our fish. Okay, it's almost 9 o'clock. Second fish of the session. On the far right, almost 300 yards out. And it's summertime. Got lots of weed in here, and he's weeded me up. Can still gain some line. And to be honest, it seemed like a good fish. I can still gain some line, but it's in there, deep and good. Oh. Well, it wasn't meant to be. I just saw one chance to free that fish once it got weeded up. I snorkeled out there and I actually managed to free it. I could actually see it. A friend of mine was standing on the bank fighting the fish, and it looked pretty good. It looked to be almost a 40-pound common carp. But the hook pulled, the hook straightened out, a size 4/4. Nothing wrong with that type of hook, used it many times before, but with all the pressure of the fish being wet, being weeded up and then pulling it out, it just flattened out and the fish was lost. But I know that both of my spots are working, so there was nothing to it but re-rigged the whole thing and put them both out again. So that was 2 fish in the first 24 hours. Well, let's see if we can get another one. Summer fishing is tough. Just got out of the water, did almost 2 miles of snorkeling, I think, going back and forth. All the rods are out again, they're fishing again. And my tip for you is don't reel in, leave the rod where it is. If nothing has happened during the night, just leave it like that. Take a boilie needle, put a couple of boilies on there, take a row of stoppers with you and snorkel out there, holding the line with your left hand very, very carefully. Just follow the line out there till you found the rig again. Change it right on the spot, put it back in the ground, and you're fishing again. Maybe in the other pocket you have a couple more spare baits, and that's it. Pinpoint, you don't have to reel in and cast out or something like that. Missing the spot, you'll find the spot 100% of the time, and you're fishing within 5 minutes. Another tip, apart from that, is the leads that we use. Since we don't have to cast, they don't have to be aerodynamic. I love these riser leads because you can really bury them deep with ease. They almost work like a tent peg, and that keel will flip to the bottom like that. When you reel in, the whole lead will act like a fluke, like a depth rudder, and your rig will come to the surface right away, so you don't get stuck in all that weed if you do have to reel in. And this one's actually made out of brass, painted over black. Now, let me see if you can see that. And it's a nice enough lead. Yeah, you can get them from Fox or any of the other, tackle Todd companies. I love these too, but these are rubber coated and camouflage. But since all that's sticking out of the ground is gonna be the swivel, it really doesn't matter what you use. So I like these. They're a little more eco-friendly than a regular lead, and they seem to do the job. Okay. Now, let's wait for another fish. All right, look what I got here. Very nice fish. And actually, I didn't even know this thing was on. I just swim out there to check on the rigs. I don't reel them in. Usually I just take the line in one hand and snorkel out to the rig, change the bait right there. Got a little needle and a couple of baits in my pocket. And when I snorkeled out to this rig, it was at least 20 meters from where I put it. And behold, when I pulled on my leader, this one came out of the weeds. Yeah, lower 20. Very nice fish, very nice fight with bare hands, no net out there. And I basically tucked it into my rash guard to bring it home to show you guys. Okay, let's put it back. Well, this is it. That was all last night. As you can see, summer fishing in blistering heat can be really successful. My tip, as usual, is bring your snorkeling gear. It's a lot of fun out there, even if you don't catch any fish. It makes the heat bearable, sitting on the bank, having a skinny dip every now and then. And as a bonus, catching a couple of nice fish. So, get some snorkeling gear, get some risolets, bury them deep, find the structure out there, which will be easier than you've ever imagined when you have everything right in front of you. And get on them fish. Thanks for watching. Bye.